デートきっとゼロムの子。
すみません。
バカ野郎。
こらー
ペリドット。
一度軍にペリドット隊長も軍でなんエメラルドのか。
I'm alright. Just got done working. There's just nothing on but Elden Ring, and I have no interest in watching that game. It's kind of gonna just chill out and like play this, but that's the only game that's on right now. It's probably one of the biggest releases of the year. So, well, the streams I normally watch are playing that, and I just don't have any interest. Don't find that game really interesting to spectate. I wouldn't like playing it either. So here I am. I haven't played this in a couple days.
ほらほら行くぜ。
バカってやればできる。僕の敵じゃないね。芸術家だけにあっという間に終わっちゃったね。
琥珀がダジャレを。
Village, not the desert. Okay. It's over here.
ちょろいちょろい。
甘いぜ。
Most OP moves.
シャルローから川を下
じゃあ。ここはデートの地下水道。
お兄ちゃん、今泳いでなかった。僕の敵じゃないね。 みんなのスピリア感じる。
負けないよ。
はい、おしまい。僕の出来じゃないね。私にはやらなきゃならない。
I kind of feel bad for everybody. There's some people that were getting a lot of views for Elden Ring before the DLC came out. Now they're getting none because everybody is streaming. They're good streamers too. This has just been everybody's doing it. People are only gonna watch like one stream pretty much. Then you got people that just don't want to be spoiled, so they're not
みんなと一緒なら怖くない。
really watching any streams at all. That kind of was like that when Metroid Dread came out. I didn't really want to be spoiled because I waited like 20 years for that game. So it was kind of hard when everybody was streaming it. I guess it's kind of decently interesting to watch. More than one person play it because of the builds and stuff, but I don't know. I just don't find the combat in that game engaging to watch. It's just really slow and clunky. I don't get the excitement of like watching somebody playing Neo. That was awesome to watch. From soft games, not so much. Well, Sekiro was alright to watch. That was probably the most tolerable one.
ちょろいちょろい。チャラいよ。
甘いぜ。
余裕だぜ。翡翠ハーツ電撃デビューって。
勝てるよ。
I can't stand even playing it or watching it. It's so slow and clunky. I just don't get the appeal. It's not fun playing a slow character, like no moves. I just don't understand why people go so crazy for it. They make you like not fun to play. Make your character not fun to play on purpose. Like, I don't know, man. Game can still be challenging without making your character so slow and clunky and not fun to control. But that's what everybody thinks is challenging now. The character needs to suck to play for the game to be challenging, which is why there's like 1,000 Souls-likes now, and they all play the same. I get why people like it, but I'm getting tired of it personally. It's kind of killed off actual fun action games, because that's all anyone wants now. It's just more Souls-likes. Souls-like kind of just become alternate meaning for the character sucks to play and is slow and tired all the time. I don't really want to be tired in a video game, man. I'm already tired in real life. Just like survival crafting games. Like, it's already hard enough to survive real life as it is, man. Worry about having to find food in a video game. See the prices for stuff lately? They're already living in an open world survival crafting game. I don't know why there's like 1,000 of those too. Living life in hard mode since the pandemic. Now there's just a whole type of game that's basically struggle to survive. Thanks, man. Games to get away from that. Wait, what? Really? What music? Because I just go delete that right now. What music? Was it the Just Dance music? I'll just go ahead and delete that right now. Let me go ahead and get rid of that right now. Where is it? Well, whatever it was, I deleted the VOD. Thank you for telling me. I really appreciate you telling me. Got enough stress in my life right now already without worrying about getting a copyright strike for streaming their glorified commercials. heaven forbid you want to stream their commercials. That's all they are. It's just a commercial. It's a really long ad that people willingly want to watch. But I guess you can't even do that without getting on their bad side anymore. It's all good. I just went ahead and deleted it. I'm dealing with enough stress in real life right now without dealing with them. How dare you stream our commercial? Unacceptable. Unforgivable to show legitimate interest in their product to the point where you watch an hour-long ad, which when in an era when no one wants to watch ads. Like, no, don't do that. Don't stream it. Okay. Wait, you're only allowed to watch our ad and our really long commercial in private. Alright, cool.
次もこの調子でいこう
Streaming a 40-minute commercial and giving their commercial even more reach and getting paid dirt for it is not enough for them. Say one thing about Jeff Keighley. During his glorified commercials, nothing really happens. You know, if you're not quick on the trigger finger and you don't mute when they do like the concerts or they do like a Grand Theft Auto trailer or something with like the generic rap music or whatever, you don't get in trouble. They actually like encourage people to co-stream it, and also the co-stream numbers are included in like how many viewers they're getting. Like when they say they get like 15 million viewers or whatever, a lot of that is not on the main stream. It's a combination of people doing co-streams and then all the other places that it's streamed. So Jeff Keighley, we like to meme about him, but he's less of an asshole about that than Nintendo. Nintendo apparently wants to forbid you from streaming their commercials, which is basically just giving them more viewers for nothing, because I didn't get paid dirt for that. I didn't get paid anything for that. I wish I did, but that's not how things work, so screw them. I'm not gonna do that again then. You're only allowed to watch our glorified hour-long commercial in private. You can't share it with your friends or community. It's forbidden. Nintendo's such a weird company. They make games that everybody loves and like have a lot of good memories for them and stuff, but they treat their fans like garbage on a regular basis. You think that like co-streaming would be like actually encouraged? Also, all the emulation stuff too. They'll just like take down a video because it has the word "yuzu" in it. It's like, how do you know they didn't legally buy the game? You know. Well, granted, I'm sure a lot of them didn't, and they just downloaded the game off the internet. But you can't just assume that. But then, like, people are getting in trouble for having the word "yuzu" in their description. It's like, you know, there are some people who keep it legal. I'm one of them. Maybe if your console didn't consistently run games at like sub 30 FPS. Just a hunch, but there wouldn't be such a big movement to play the games on something else. why they don't understand that.
私たちは負けられない。
だからどこまでも進むんだ。二人一緒に。
Yeah, that sounds like something Nintendo would do. That's totally in character for them. They don't seem to understand. You know, yes, there are people that are pirating the games because they can't afford it, or you know, they don't have the hardware, or they just don't want to pay for the game. But a huge chunk of it is because the stuff is exclusive and it runs like garbage. A good example of this for my channel and my community is Age of Calamity. I bought that game. I paid for the DLC. I didn't get any handouts for that game. I paid for it myself, my own money. But playing it on real hardware made me motion sick. Because it was like N64 resolution most of the time, and then like sub 20, like 30 FPS. I actually felt sick playing it. So, yeah, the rest of the time that I played the game, I played it on emulator. And like, if you would just port your stuff to PC, the piracy problem would almost completely disappear. Guarantee it. It wouldn't completely disappear, but it would greatly diminish the incentives to doing it. They don't seem to understand that. It has to be their crappy hardware that barely works. I don't know, man. If the game is making me physically sick when playing it, because the frame rate is so bad, you guys need to, like, reevaluate how you distribute your products. Put them on a platform that can actually handle it. Tears of the Kingdom, perfect example. I guarantee you, if they had just made a PC port of that somehow, there would have been a lot less people pirating it. I'm like, yeah, it's a nice looking game, it's a big open world, people don't want to play it on a tiny screen at 30 FPS. I totally get it. Why, as much as people like to rag on Sony as well, and Microsoft, they've embraced PC ports. Granted, I think most of their AAA games are trash, barely video games. That's beyond the point. They do make their stuff available for people that can't or don't want to invest in their console, which is all anyone can ask for, really. God of War Ragnarok, I couldn't stand the first one. I'm probably not buying that game. If I do, it'd be like this $20. But I think it's cool they're putting it on there.
みんなと一緒なら怖くない。
Did you know, Mameda no Bakeru, the Goemon clone, or the Goemon-inspired game, they issued a DMCA takedown for the English translation for that. Now, I would have thought that that would happen because they were going to announce it at the Direct. Because they need some games out because the Switch is on its last legs. I thought that that was going to happen. I was actually really looking for that because the guy who translated it, I think it was like a week or two ago, he said that he got a cease and desist and he had to take down the translation and kill his entire Discord server. I'm like, well, if you're going to do that, that implies that there's going to be a localization of some sort, right? Nope. Like, why couldn't you have just, like, taken his team's translation and just paid him for it? Instead of giving him a mega anxiety attack by having him deal with, you know, getting a, you need to stop distributing this or we're going to sue you into oblivion. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. That game didn't do well, for one. And there's also no localization for it. I don't know, maybe they are actually planning on making an official localization for that, but I still find it really scummy. It's like really hostile towards people. He didn't even take any donations. That's the worst part, is he took like... He had no Patreon or PayPal or anything. It was all done for free. But they shut him down. I still have it, I still have it on my computer. I have it safe kept. But yeah, that's something that happened recently that I don't think a lot of news outlets are picking up. You gotta cease and desist. Same thing with Tales, this franchise. They do the exact same thing, which is they don't do things that make them money. I thought they're like supposed to be a business. Aren't businesses supposed to like want infinite amounts of money? And like, well then why don't you re-release these games? Nope, they delisted this. They delisted Graces F, Xillia 1, Xillia 2. Innocence R as well, which we never got over here. All delisted. Right, cool, are you going to provide a Leap alternative? No, why would we do that? Scumbags. It is just depressing. The only good thing I'll say about Namco's management of this franchise is they have never issued a cease and desist for any of the translations, because like a decent chunk of the games that aren't available here have been translated already, so I'll give them that much. I don't mean to knock on wood, but it doesn't seem like they have any intention of doing that. Because if they did, they would have done it already. But yeah, they delisted like 6 Tales games like a couple months ago with 0 warning. They couldn't even do the decent thing, which is like, hey, we're gonna get rid of these in, you know, a month or something. If you want to buy it now, this is your last chance to get a legal copy. Nope. Woke up one morning, they're all gone. What a great company. There are some people who think it was because of licensing, which is a very real, very high chance, because I don't know how many of you guys have played these games, but they always have, like, professional music bands or solo artists that do the intro to these. I think that just like the rights just expired. That still doesn't excuse not killing people. That's the problem. I can understand like not wanting to to
我
renew
が
the
県の
rights
旅になりたい者は
for games
かか
that
ってこい
don't even have like modern versions anymore. They're not on Switch or PC or anything. I can get that, but the bare minimum would be like just warning people that you're not gonna sell it anymore. No, the community was in shambles. I remember waking up that morning. I'm like, hey, can you find Innocence R? Like, nope, it's not on there anymore. Like, what? How hard is it to just post a tweet that says, like, look, we can't sell these anymore. Like, here's your last chance to get it. Nintendo just doesn't want money from the PC market. They don't want their stuff to be ported because they think that having it on console increases the value, which admittedly it does, but they're kind of learning the hard way that once the emulation catches up, people aren't going to want to buy it on there. And it's like, well, you know, if you just made a PC port, I guarantee you the piracy would not stop entirely, but it would drastically cut down, like an order of magnitude. Well, if they had a Age of Calamity PC port, I would have bought that in a heartbeat. I actually thought that game was quite fun. It was flawed outside of the frame rate and stuff. But yeah, the performance and the resolution was awful. As soon as I played it on emulator, it was like a night and day difference. It's like an immensely better experience. Just because companies own these franchises doesn't mean they're the ones that should. That's my thought on it. There's a chance that they'll announce something new for Tales in a couple weeks at Anime Expo, but knowing Bamco, expecting good things to happen with this franchise is foolish. I'm sure they'll have another like 2 or 3 crappy not service game, but anime arena fighters to announce, because they don't have enough of those already. But like doing literally anything with this franchise is too much to ask, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. They could definitely win back some goodwill if at least even one of the games that got delisted actually got an evergreen port to, like, PC. I really think it would probably be Azealia Games would have the highest chance. Mainly because they already run at 60 FPS in battle. They wouldn't have to completely redo the game like this, and Innocence R. I think that would actually be a pretty big thing as well, because we never got Innocence R over here, and a lot of people just didn't play this one because they didn't have a Vita, but we did get this one localized. But I wouldn't expect that to happen. Statistically low chance. They tend to just they know that it's mostly hardcore weebs going to those conventions, so they're going to announce another generic anime game outsourced to the worst company. They can find the worst company to do it, and then get surprised when it doesn't sell. got another, what's the flavor of the month anime right now? I'm sure they got another one ready. Well, on one hand, they already did one for Jujutsu Kaisen, and that game has been a bomb. No one's playing it. Even the hardcore fans aren't playing it. Like, what else is left at this point?
お楽しみはこれからだよ。どうしたの？
I don't think they're gonna do another My Hero game because they have the Battle Royale going on, which is mostly just recycled assets from that arena fighter. JoJo seems unlikely.
この程度で見せてやる。 嘘だ。僕は最新のエースタイプなんだぞ。
これがみんなの力だ。
一夜に手出しはさせないんだから。
おとなしくしやがれ、刃物野郎。
I don't know, they're not gonna do another Dragon Ball. The Jujutsu Kaisen crappy arena fighter just came out, and no one bought it, no one plays it. People have been expressing their frustration at Bamco's inability to innovate. It's just, hey, this anime is mildly popular. Let's crack the whip and get another crappy
この調子でガンの子行くぞ。
before it goes out of fashion. My Hero, unlikely. Because they have the Battle Royale going on. They might spawn some kind of JoJo's game or something. Yeah, this localization is pretty bad. It got a lot of flack when it came out for having a pretty crap localization. It was obviously, like, really rushed. I think it was rushed and, like, also they didn't want to put the effort they put into, like, a mothership title. Like, you know, Zestiria was, like, right after this. And Berseria was not that long after that, either. They put, like, a lot of effort into those localizations because it's on, like, a platform that people actually use. The Vita was completely devoid of Western support by this point. This game came out over here, like, 2013, 2014. By that point, there was no one really doing Western games on it anymore. They admitted defeat, and they just got weeb games. Another One Punch Man game? High chance they'll make another crappy One Punch Man game. But I hear the gacha actually had decent gameplay, but typical post-Genshin monetization, so 50-50 rates on gacha characters and stuff. And then, like, also there was, like, no content. And then, like, the free-to-play income was really bad, so once you got through the story and stuff, you had, like, no income unless you were spending money. That game's probably not going to last very long. I heard that they made some changes, but they got way too greedy. I think they really banked on people sticking around because of like just the usual gotcha goodwill. When you like start playing something, it showers you with gifts and stuff, but then like apparently that stopped really quick on that game. Wuthering Waves has been kind of a disaster too in a lot of ways, but the income, the weekly income or the patch income is decent enough. I heard the One Punch Man game was just really like front loaded with decent gameplay, but they tried to get away with too much scummy stuff, and I guess the people that played it clapped back and told them to change that because there's too many other games to play. I'm particularly weary of anime licensed gachas because I feel like they have even less of a lifespan. Like they could just shut those down at any time. I think the weirdest thing about this localization is they kept his name, which is like a far more Japanese name than the average Tails character. Tails characters kind of just have like medieval sounding names. Most of them don't really have names that sound like they're directly Japanese, but they kept his name and his sister, and they have the most Japanese names out of anybody. But then him, they call him Core for some reason. His name is supposed to be Shing Meteorite. Which is a pretty bad name too, honestly. It's not like that's much better, but I don't understand the reasoning behind changing his name, but then the ones that are like the most Japanese sounding, they didn't change those. It's like in like the Dragon Ball dub. Like anytime somebody would eat like a Japanese kind of food, they would turn it into like a burger or something. It's like, dude, you know, kids in America grow up around like literally every culture. Did you have to go through that trouble? Like, kids have seen rice balls before. If their parents have like ever taken them to the mall, they've seen non-American food before. But they would like digitally edit that stuff out and put burgers in their hands. I don't need to go through that trouble. I can understand the censorship because over here in America, our restrictions for children's programming is way stricter than over there. I can understand that. As much as people complained about that, it was a necessary evil. But like, dude, kids have seen non-American food before. Heaven forbid if they weren't like born American, you know, they were born from immigrants or something. Like, no, you can't have non-American food in this blatantly Japanese show. Probably took more effort to do that than censor stuff. Like, meticulously edit everything so that you can't see that Goku's eating a rice ball. I don't know if they were really dragged kicking and screaming into localizing this. I think it was more that they wanted a game out, and this was like the cheapest one to put out. You know, they didn't dub it. This game is one of the few modern Tales games that doesn't have English dubbing at all. It's just a straight Japanese voice track and a below-average localization. And companies do that sometimes. They'll just crap something out like that so they have something. They have something to show, I guess. this was a pretty high-profile game, actually, when it came out. There was a decent amount of excitement, because by the time that they localized this, all the normies were long gone, because the Vita had about a year of relevancy for dude bros and normies. They're all long gone. So the people that were left were pretty excited that this was getting released. I remember there being a lot of anger over how badly it's localized.
ここが
師匠。
羊
この辺りはか
ゼロムの気配は感じられん。
一体
索敵完了。
南側の村人は人と。今
No, they're not going to have a FromSoft game announced at Anime Expo. If there's any chance for a sign of life from Tales, the next one is definitely Anime Expo. You don't have that many people watching that panel. For the most part, what happens at Anime Expo, it's actually really hard to get into the panels because there's just so many people. So, the people that are on the press from like sites, or maybe they're like a YouTube channel or something. Individuals, they get the news and then they report it, and then they release the trailer, and that's how it gets spread. But the FromSoft game is not going to get announced at Anime Expo. Like, for instance, Sandland, that Sandland game that no one seems to really be interested in, that came out a couple months ago. That was announced at Anime Expo. So like that level of release would get announced there, not a FromSoft game. I mean, they got like 600k players on Elden Ring right now. That's just on PC. Factor in and probably another couple 100,000 on console. They're not going to announce their next release at Anime Expo. That's why I'm saying it's either going to be huffing a lot of copium, but maybe something for Tales, meaning a re-release would be most likely, or whatever generic anime arena fighter they have, but I think they've already kind of covered all the bases on those. They did a One Punch Man game. They probably could crap out another one of those, because I think the new season is starting soon, and then there's they already did a JoJo's. The My Hero Arena Fighter, I actually enjoyed that game as a non-fan. That game is actually pretty solid. That one's assets got recycled and repurposed into the Battle Royale. Dragon Ball's already got Sparking Zero. They're not going to announce anything else for that. So yeah. What is the flavor of the month anime right now? I don't know if Spy X Family really works as an arena fighter. That feels like a bit of a stretch. What little I know about that, like, it does have action, but not to the extent that's needed for like an arena fighter. They don't have that many active combatants. So I don't know, maybe something will actually happen with Tails. If they re-release anything, most realistic outcome is going to be either Graces or Zelia, because those are the ones that are the most requested, and also would be the easiest to bring over because they're already HD for one. They're HD games. They're relatively modern. They're about 15 years old, or about 10 years old, a little over 10 years old. The only thing they'd really need to do is just uncap the frame rate. But because the game already runs at 30 and 60, it probably wouldn't be that hard. So, that would be most likely. If they brought this game back, I feel like they would need to put Innocence in there as well and localize that. But, like, that game is way less content-rich than this is. So, I think that would be a much lower possibility. It is something that could happen. Destiny remake would be pretty crazy because that would make every corner of the world happy because there hasn't been a re-release of that in ages. I think that Destiny remake could happen. The problem with Destiny remake is it's like it's a really good game, but the combat is really held back by only having 6 move slots. So personally, I mean, I would buy it to support the franchise, but I wouldn't actually play it unless they had an Arts Ball. Because if you've ever watched unmodded challenge runs or high-level gameplay of that, the combos get very repetitive because you can only slot 6 moves. So I would hope, if they actually are going to bring that game back and localize it, that would be like the main gameplay change that they would make. Because with the cheat engine code, or the Game Shark code or whatever, to give you 6 extra slots, that game gets so much better. Only 6 slots is very limiting, because the combat is really good in that game, but you have so little to work with. But yeah, Destiny Remake, Graces, Zelia, and then I'd say the bottom tier probability for release would be this game. I think just in particular it would be a lot harder to get this one re-released because the company is out of business. They're long gone. Who knows if they even have the source code. They don't even have the source code to Symphonia, which is like the FF7 of this franchise. You know, like the high-tier game that people have nostalgia for, and they can just keep re-releasing until the end of time. They don't even have the source code to that, so I highly doubt they have the source code for this. I would be shocked if this got a re-release. Statistically, very low chance. But the other games I mentioned all have a pretty high chance. The Graces and Zelia, I think, have the highest chance of actually coming back, just because they already have localizations. They're already HD, they don't need to be upscaled. And then also uncapping the frame rate would be pretty trivial, I think.
この命がある限り一匹でも多く
Actually, I say Graces has the highest chance, because it's only one game. You can't just release Zelia 1 without Zelia 2. You have to do both. You have to do like a combo pack or something. I don't know, they'll find a way to make a arena fighter out of Spy X Family. Don't put it past them. They'll find a way to turn it into a Muso game or something.
この命がある限り一匹
Destiny remake would be, I would be sick if that game came back, but like I said, they would have to significantly make some changes. Having 6 moves in that game is very... I don't know, people would really be down to buy that game again with just that.
これくらい朝飯前だよ。俺なら夕飯前だ。さっさと片付けるぞ。くらえね。決勝騎士団第13番隊
かしね
ちょろいぜ甘いよ。
ちょろ甘だな。
I don't know, every casual Tales fan says Graces is the best combat, which most of us who are hardcore don't agree with. But from a business standpoint, I think that game has a high chance of coming back. It's the critical darling of the casual players. I definitely think it pales in comparison to stuff like Vesperia and Zelia 2, this game, gameplay-wise. But it's consistently, on the internet, said to be the best one. Take the least amount of effort to bring back. We all know they don't put a lot of effort into this franchise, like, ever anymore, so I won't be surprised if that's what ends up coming back first.
This命がある限り。このままガンドコ行こう。この思いが剣となる。余裕だよ。
みんなと一緒なら怖くない。
This is annoying. This dungeon's a pain in the ass. just jump over it, dude. I love when characters can do crazy air combos in the battle system, but then, like, this is an easy fix. You don't need to be super powered to, like, jump over this, right? Uneven strength in video games is always really funny. You can, like, punch a giant ogre or something, like, across the map, but then, like, a locked door is too much. A locked door is, like, this big ordeal. Like, a big, like, screen-sized monster. You can, like, knock it down. But then, like, a wooden door that's locked is, like, too hard for them. Classic video game stuff. Like, dude, you could just long jump over that. You gotta make it difficult. You gotta go this way, don't you? Shit, just, like, crawl over on the sides or something. Make this as annoying as possible. I don't remember how to get back. And the other sin is putting random battles in here too, instead of letting you do the puzzle uninterrupted. You gotta go back and forth. That's one thing I really liked about Destiny Remake, is it typically didn't do that. For the most part, if it was a puzzle like this designed to kind of get on your nerves, they deliberately locked encounters that you couldn't get stuck. I hate this. Just jump over it, dude. Even in the cutscenes, he jumps, like, super high, but he can't do that here. He's too stupid to just jump over it. I guess I'm gonna have to go another way. It's been like 10 years since I've done this. I don't exactly remember the solution. I think Cloud in FF7 Remake is also a pretty big culprit of that. He kind of, like, shifts from being able to do, like, a Hulk level of jumps, like super jumps, and then, like, he needs to crawl under a space or something. I'm like, why can't you just jump over it? Clearly you're capable. That game is really weird. If you think about it from the lens of realism, like, when he fights Sephiroth, he jumps, like, 10 stories in the air, but then he needs a grappling hook to do that, like, a couple hours prior. It's like, which one is it? Like, clearly, doing feats like jumping really far like the Hulk is a non-issue. But for the sake of gameplay, we can't just, like, let you do that. He needs to be like Batman and use a grappling hook. I'm pretty sure Batman would just skip that step if he was superpowered. The only reason he doesn't is because he's a regular guy and his superpower is that he's rich. I would hope that the new game, like, just doesn't have that stuff anymore, because the reason they had so much of that crap in the first remake was because of having to build the game around base PS4. I hate this. I'm about to say, do this later. So stupid. Just jump over it, dude. Video game characters don't do what makes sense. Just fucking jump. How hard is it? Oh you could shoot the flowers. I thought I was missing something. Oh, I can't. Oh, this right here. Wonder I missed that. This is still gonna take forever to get through. Figured I was missing something. Kind of blends in a little bit. I don't know how I didn't see that. Alright, get back to where I was now. About to say I just don't care about the rest of the stuff. Let's just get out of here. I really don't want to do this again. This is one of the worst parts of this game by far. The rest of the puzzles are minor inconvenience at best, but this one is mega triggering. And I've already played this game like 4 times, so... anything I can't grab here, I'll just get elsewhere. Of course, the bottom ran out. I wish this game didn't have random I hate random encounters. Turn-based combat is not outdated, despite what people say. Random encounters are. Random encounters are legit never a good thing. Definitely don't agree when people say turn-based games are outdated. They're not what the average person wants, but they're definitely not outdated. Random encounters, on the other hand, are something that should have been done away with eons ago. I think most people would agree with me. A lot of people wouldn't agree with saying that turn-based games aren't outdated, but random encounters definitely are. Especially when it's like this and they're mixed in with puzzles that you can get stuck on. What ends up happening is you get exhausted, you lose your train of thought, and then also in games like this, your resources take a big hit. So I feel like if you're still going to do random encounters, you should not have them in rooms with puzzles. I'm glad stuff like Shin Megami Tensei doesn't really do random encounters anymore. That's like the best turn-based combat, like by far. They've moved past that too. I don't think the new one has that. Yeah, I've never cared for random encounters. It's one of those things that actually is legit outdated. Obviously, it was a hardware limitation. They couldn't put the enemies on the map. But, like, we haven't had that problem for, like, 25 years, so... That's kind of the problem with it. Turn-based was also a hardware limitation, but they've done a lot with it, and it still gives you a level of strategy and control you don't get in games like this. So, it's not outdated. I think frequently misused is a better thing to call turn-based combat than outdated. Because there's like so many crappy gacha games that misuse it and basically kind of get around the fact that it's supposed to be more strategic. None of that really matters when you can just swipe your credit card and get infinite stuff and get like an OP character. That's my thought on it anyway. Stuff like Shin Megami Tensei is like top tier, turn-based. Like the mobile games don't even get close to that.
これ以上はさせないよ。
こんなに優しい人たちがいる村をよくも。
たく
グランパ遅いな、変な
Shoe Sword Izon right there. I need that. Going for Shoe Sword Izon. One more level.
アヨラ姉さんのバルハイトはこの里に眠るのがふさわしい。
勝手に里から出た。
なんとか
It's actually, I believe, past the halfway point. This is Act 2. Like most Tales games, this is split into 3 acts. So, if I keep streaming, should finish this by the end of the week. But then doing all the cleanup and shit for the actual challenge runs and everything, it's gonna take at least another playthrough. So, I don't know how much of that I'll stream. But then again, there's not really any streams to watch right now, unless you're interested in Elden Ring, which I'm not. I'm not interested in watching or playing that game, so I'll probably be streaming more often. restock. I'm gonna have to at least go into the EX dungeon to get the combo command, which is gonna be pretty rough on a first playthrough. Probably put it down the easy mode. I don't remember how far in you have to get, but it is a late game item. Let's see, how much is left? I'm gonna need to renew my memory of this. Yeah, you go back into the sewers and the castle and you fight that guts chick, the big blob thing. I think the next dungeon is Incaros. There's the volcano. I don't remember what boss is in there. Sendrillin again. Yeah, this is well past the halfway point. There's a couple more big dungeons, and then there's a lot of cleanup. I don't know how they like doubled the amount of side content in this game when it came out like a year after Innocents Are. They must have had like 2 teams working on this. It was like the battle system in this game compared to Innocents Are is a little bit divisive. There are some nice things about it, but the game is a lot more stiff. The dash cancel doesn't feel as good. Chase Link is kind of boring. It kind of takes all the skill out of like learning how to use your character. Once you get Chase Link, you can just chain whatever you want for the most part. I mean, it does still take some skill, but I don't really like how it just kind of just locks them and hit stun, and like most of like learning how to use the properties and setting your moveset up properly, and the execution's kind of just gone. It's still a fun game, but outside of that, graphically and the content-wise, this game is a lot better than Innocents Are. Innocents Are, even watching all the cutscenes, you can finish it in like 15-20 hours, like maximum. It's a really quick game to get through, which I mean isn't entirely a bad thing. I definitely think JRPGs these days are really bloated. They're like way longer than they need to be, but I don't know, 15 hours I think is kind of pushing the envelope of what's acceptable. People expect these games to like take over their lives for a few weeks. Innocents Are, watching every cutscene is like, I don't know, under 20 hours, I would say. they made these games for a console that no one wanted, so no one was really super into the Vita by the time this game came out. It was already kind of on its last legs. It had about 2.5 years left in it after this game released. I used mine until like 2016, so I got a good couple years out of it.
氷河の上なのに。
で、
この四年石
水の中。
我が剣のサビになりたい者はかかってこい。
出やがったな。
我が剣のサビになりたい者は行くぞ。
よっ
調子でガンどこ行こう。
Oh man, Shusoraizan. Oh yeah, classic move. This is this is Jukoraiha, which is really busted move. It's one of the fastest ways to break penetrate. So I'm gonna go for that next. Jukoraiha. Like one more level to get that, I think. Oh no, it's gonna take two actually. 2 or 3. It's one of the most busted moves in the game. Especially because you side switch with Seijin Zuppa and then turn around and do it again. And you break their iron stance like mega quick. Is this actually valuable now? Are you serious? No one cared about this game when it came out. Is this actually popular now? What? How much is it going for? That's news to me. No one cared about this game when it came out. You had the hardcore Vita fans that were just happy to have something else to play after the big gaming drought started for the device. Like, no one else really cared. I don't really see why this is popular now. How much do they charge? How much do they want for it? I was not aware that people suddenly cared about this game. Out of like the Tales games that actually got English translations, this is like gotta be like the least popular one. The one that like statistically has been the least played out of all of them. Well, they want like $80 for it or what? That's insane to me. How much is it? How much are they going for? No one's buying that, though. No one's buying that. I don't know. Retro game prices are kind of just a meme, in my opinion. People just charge random stuff for the, like, really exorbitant prices, but then, like, who's actually buying it? Like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The company doesn't care about this game anymore. They delisted it without even... They couldn't even do, like, a basic warning. They delisted it literally overnight. Like, you cannot get this game legally anymore without going through secondhand. So, if you really want to play this, look, go find the ROM, and you can play it on your phone. It works perfectly fine on your phone. I've tested it. If you have a Steam Deck, even better. You can get like 5-6 hours of battery life out of this. But granted, there's lots of other JRPGs you can play on the Steam Deck that probably look a lot better than this, but the battery life is going to be like half, so you'd have to be insane to pay that price. That's for like people that just like have more money than they know what to do with. People either born rich or you just have an insane amount of cash. As far as I'm concerned, once they stop selling something, downloading the ROM is fair game. Which I mean, until recently, that price is kind of warranted because it obviously had a very low print run. It wasn't on a mainstream console. Game came out like way after mainstream normie gamers had already given up on the Vita. Like, I can see why it's that expensive, but we're in a position right now where the game, you can get it for free and literally play it on like a 5-year-old phone. So, like throwing money away, I guess you can pay that price, but I think it's actively stupid. But yeah, they didn't make that many copies of this. I have a physical copy of it.
やるなメテオライト。
It's just gonna get worse from here on out though, because it already wasn't in print for like a very long time before the price went up. The second-hand market.
道を阻む者は切る。
The only people paying those prices are people who are collectors. Meaning they don't actually play video games most of the time. They don't play the stuff they buy. Makes a nice backdrop on their YouTube
我が天の
videos
サビになりたい者は
with all their
か
Funko
かってこい。
Pops and stuff. They don't actually play it. If you want to actually play it, there's like literally no barrier of entry for this game anyway. It's already in English. It's been in English for over a decade, for one. And also Vita 3K runs this game perfectly, minus some minor rendering errors, which you might have seen while I've been playing this. But other than that, there's no reason to ever pay that insane price. Same thing for GameCube games as well. Like, dude, I get Path of Radiance is a really good game, but you know you can just play it on your phone, right? You don't even need a game console. Just play it on your phone, man. Just go download the ROM. If Nintendo cared, they would make it available again, but they don't. So I say screw them. It's not like it would be hard to port that game either. It's already in English. It already runs at 60 FPS. It'd be a non-issue to bring that game back. They have it, and now the price is like... It's like the equivalent of a month of rent to buy that game, Well, that's the smart thing to do. That's the smart thing to do. Don't pay those prices. You're already getting scammed on basic needs like groceries and gas and phone bills and shit. Like, don't pay that price. My phone bill went up like $30 this month. Not making that up. And like almost doubled in price. So far as I'm concerned, I'm not paying those prices for games I can just get online. Hard pass. You've like increased the price on so much stuff and basic necessities. I'm not paying $200 for this game. I'll gladly pay $60 if they make a official re-release. I'll definitely buy the game again, but I'm not paying that price for a used copy. Highway robbery. Now, I would change my stance if we lived in a society where people who made products that are so highly regarded that people would actually spend hundreds of dollars on it. If the money actually went to them, I would say, yeah, go support it. But that's not how our world works. You just line the pockets of some other nerd that probably had the game, I don't know, in their mom's basement or something, and they moved to college and forgot about it. Like, that's really all you're doing. There's not really a whole, like, not even really a morality thing about it. You're just lining someone else's pockets. It would be nice if the people who made that game got that money. At least some of it. Making something that's so highly regarded that people will spend a month's worth of rent on a video game. But it's not how our world works. Just giving some other nerd a big cash infusion. I think the other problem with it too is like disc rot is a thing. Like discs can go bad. And like the best thing to do to actually preserve it is to just dump the ROM, but the ROM has already been on the internet for like everything that's worth playing for the most part. It's been on the internet, it's not going anywhere. Even though the ROM sites are getting shut down, another one will just appear. There's always torrents. People can pass them between friends and stuff. So like that angle doesn't even work either. Like, literally everything on the 3DS and the Switch has, like, already been dumped. Even the shovelware has already been dumped. Like, it's been there for a long time. It's not going anywhere. The entire Switch library got dumped. The games get dumped like the moment that they come out. But shit, I've done it myself. I've dumped my own legal copies of games already, just from my own personal collection. It takes like an hour to do. I can have a game playable on my computer before it's available on the internet, because I bought it. Take a good example of that is ST Shin Kamen Rider Rumble. I had that game dumped and playable before it was on the internet.
次こそ。
So I think Radiant Dawn got a much larger print run because it was released in like the height and popularity of the week. Path of Radiance comparatively was like pretty late in its lifespan.
我が県のサビ
Nintendo
になり
wasn't
たいもの
really
は
putting much else
かか
out
ってこい
at that point. It was almost exclusively third party. So they probably made like a lot more copies of that game. This game, I actually do have a legal copy of this. I do have a legal copy of it. But a friend of mine has it. But I remember when I pre-ordered this, they only got like one copy, which is always a telltale sign that something's going to be
か
rare.
かってこい
If you like pre-order physical for something like this, you pre-order physical for something like this, and you go and pre-order it, and they only get like one extra copy besides the ones that were pre-ordered. That's always a good sign it's going to be rare later on. So if you care about flipping stuff or making money, that's generally, for the most part, there are some exceptions. I also got, what's it called? Dynasty Warriors 7. I pre-ordered that game, and they only got like one copy. I was like the only person that pre-ordered it. Well, obviously that game did not get that kind of demand, but it depends.
さっさと片付けるぞ。見せてやる。
私たちは負けられない。
だからどこまでも進むんだ。二人一緒に。一気に行くぞ。これで決めた。よし。手加減はできないんだ。海の
これがガルデ。
リチアのお姉さんが。
isn't Smash still like decently expensive just because like they made like millions of copies of that game, but like so many discs are needed to run tournaments that the price of that is actually abnormally high in comparison to the print run. Because one of the things, there's two things that make retro prices skyrocket that actually make sense besides just people putting stuff up for hundreds of dollars even though no one actually wants to spend that much money. It's like how good the game is, its availability, and then the print run are the three major factors. So like Smash, Melee is like a really great game, obviously, but they made so many copies of it, and the reprint doesn't nerf anything. Like Metroid Prime is an interesting example because the Player's Choice version, also all the re-releases, meaning the Metroid Prime trilogy, and then also the remastered that came out last year, they nerf all the sequence breaks. So for speedruns, the ones that you want is either the 1.0 ROM from the first release or the first print. But for like people who don't care about that, I think that they kind of already solved that problem because you can just get it on Switch if you don't care about sweaty stuff like speedruns and saving time and glitches and stuff. None of that matters, but that game is an interesting case. Melee is just in high demand because so many people still play it. The situation would be worse if it was like Metroid Prime and they started messing with the game. Which is what happened with that game, is the only one that really gets speed ran is the first version, and then the remaster with the glitches brought back. That's like it. No one runs Trilogy. Like, this game is good if you're into this kind of game. It's not like a legendary product like Melee or Metroid Prime or Path of Radiance. It's good for what it is. It doesn't have generally huge The only reason they're trying to jack up the prices of this so much is it did have admittedly a very low print run. Who knows how many copies they made, but it definitely wasn't many. I am surprised this game even got a physical release, to be honest. Seemed like an obvious game to be digital only. For a dying console, it's niche, you know, it's Tales, it's not Final Fantasy or Persona, where making a physical version would be like actually worth it. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. To be completely honest with you. As a hardcore Tales fan, I do not know why they made a physical release for this. There's like plenty of games that are digital only on Vita. A disproportionate chunk of the games that are on the Vita are digital only. So it wasn't Sony telling them they had to do it.
Fight it!
この調子でガンどこ行こう。
Oh, another factor I hadn't thought of is, does the game have multiple discs? That's actually something that people don't think about, because it's a lot harder to get complete in box for something like Strider 2 is a good example. Any of the PS1 Final Fantasies. It's going to be harder and harder as time passes to find copies of the game where all the discs are intact or functioning, or both. Like, one could get disc rot and the others don't, but then like the game is unplayable if even one of them is not functioning. That's definitely a factor too, but I think less so with Final Fantasy, because we do have PC ports that are like $10. You can run them on like a 15-year-old computer, so I don't know how much that matters, but that definitely is a factor too. Disc rot is totally a thing.
我が剣のサビになりたい者はかかってこい。
Actually, Strider 2 is a very good example of this, because when they printed that game, they put the wrong game on the wrong disc. Like, the label said Strider 2. That was Strider 1. And the Strider 1 on there was actually Strider 2. So you could totally buy a copy of that game and it says it has the Strider 2 disc intact. And it's actually Strider 1. Capcom of USA, amateur mistake. Somehow they made like thousands of copies of that game. They didn't even label it properly. I know because I have a copy of that game. I'm sure there's like a non-zero amount of people that have been scammed by that. Like, nope, you got Strider 1. You get Strider 2. It says Strider 2 on the disc, but it's Strider 2.
悪くない連携だったな。
この調子でどんどん。
Does the Smash community even still care about, like, authenticity? Because Nintendo has basically just consistently given them the middle finger for, like, decades now. Like, do they just run a ROM? I feel like I would at that point if they're not even gonna, like, officially sanction the tournaments. That'd be my first thing that I would do, but...
鈍い鈍い。
これでどうだ。
この調子でガンの子行くぞ。
よっしゃ
アイザック。
油断はしない。
負けられないんだ。
余裕だぜ。
ア
これでどうだ。
Alright, I think that's gonna do it for me tonight. I had to wake up very early to make sure that the cats got fed, so I'll try to get some rest and get back to streaming on a regular basis again. So, thanks for watching for whoever's still here. We'll have your Elden Ring free zone will come back. Probably, well, let's see. Probably in the morning if I wake up, or after I have lunch. So, thanks for watching, folks. Catch you guys very near future. Good night, everybody.